focus, determination, passion, stamina, and the will to win. The end result, the Ricmotech Sports Car Series. Extreme Motorsports brings you the Ricmotech Sports Car Series, brought to you by Ricmotech High Performance Sim Racing Equipment, and in part by TD's Tree Service. Live Mondays, 8:30 p.m. Eastern.
Good evening, iRacers. Welcome to Apex Racing TV and the Ricmotech Sports Car Series. This is round number 3. It is coming to you from the New Hampshire road circuit tonight. Should be an interesting race for sure. Tricky little circuit. Covered this in some BSR MX-5 events, some Skip Barber ones as well. And yeah, it's thrown up a lot of very interesting race meetings. So I think this will be no exception whatsoever. Got a little track guide, so we will take you through that in just a second, because I realise I haven't actually got it prepped. I'm still trying to Sebring one here. So let me just feel. It's just myself today. I think Mr. Woodhouse might well have had a little lay-in, a little sleep-in, so bless him. As you know, it is a bit late for us sometimes, and yeah, likes to have a little snooze before, and I can't get him on his mobile, so I think yeah, I think we're out of luck with tonight, and Adam was already scheduled to be off, so I'm here. It's good. We're going to cover the action the best we can, and yeah, a little bit of input from you guys as well. So ask me some questions throughout. Let's keep the chat going. I will try my best to yeah, keep on top of things. Right, I am desperately trying to feel while I find this this track guide and get it ready. So here we go.
Welcome, everyone, to New Hampshire Motor Speedway Road Course located here in Loudon, New Hampshire. Great to have you with us as we provide you your track guide today in the Ford Mustang around this very short 1.6-mile road course. Known to many as the Magic Mile Oval Course, we will instead be tackling the road course here at Loudon as it is very unique to the other oval-type road courses, or as we refer to them in racing, as rovals. This track is different in the fact that we actually exit the main oval course. We will go through the backstretch wall, go up through a windy, twisty, undulating section through the hills, and then back down into the backstretch area and through the inside road course of NASCAR turns 3 and 4, and then ultimately back out onto the front straightaway here. Well, let's go ahead and begin our lap around Loudon's road course. As we head up the front straightaway here, you'll notice the very familiar oval grandstands to our right. Crossing the line, we're going to set up a wide entry into turn 1, get hard on the brakes, late apex, and get that nose right back down to the bottom, and set up our exit out of 2 here. This will take us out onto the familiar oval backstretch. Want to get powered down, get some good speed coming down into turn 3 here. This is one of the few overtaking opportunities. Coming through 3 and up the hill. Very difficult to get the power down as that section really upsets the car. Coming down through 5, this will bring us to the very familiar bowl section here, or bowl turn as I refer to it as, turn 6. Get throttled down, get a good nice launch up the hill through the S's here. Another little overtaking opportunity coming down into 9. Brush the brake, let the car rotate right down to the curb. We want to get a good entry out of 10, up here into turn 11, and then ultimately into the final corner of 12. Brush the brake, get the car to rotate, back to throttle, and launch ourselves right back up onto the front straightaway here at Loudon. Very short, fast course, very exciting to race. It is a technical one. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you very much, Kevin, for that one. Certainly looks like an interesting layout. Quite short laps are going to be done pretty quickly. Looking at qualifying times at the moment, pole position currently a 1 minute 9. Before we get into qualifying, let's just take a quick little look at where everybody is in regards to championship positions. Tyler Shiflett leads the way in the GS Pro Series. He is on 66 points. Travis Davis second place, just 1 point behind him. With team Stephen Thomas just a further 1 point back. Jeff Jacobs in fourth. Kevin Ford, after what was a bit of a disaster at Sebring, he'll be fair and agree with that, I think. Then you've got Russell Ruddock, Matthew Katila, Michael Ruddock, Leon Wright. Rounding out the top 10 is Brandon Whitworth on 42 points. Still close, as we would expect, just a couple of races into the season following our week's hiatus with the World Challenge Series. In the open category, Nathan Thomas leads the way. It's David Warren, followed by Chad McDonald, Raymond Bader Jr., Travis McGill, Jennifer McDonald, Robert Crest, and Andrew Fawcett. So quite a little bit of a margin there, 43 points against 34 points though. So yeah, Nathan doing really, really well and starting to break away somewhat. We head ourselves to the ST class, and it's Robert Hartley who leads the way on that, 76 points from Jim Lists. And then we've got Inucci, David Payton, Mike Dam, Zachary Rubin, Joe Boyd, and Giuseppe Iannucci. It's always a hard one to tell what's going to go on with the ST Pro class. They're so tight throughout the races, yet we've got a bit of margin starting to sort of see there after just a couple of races. Very unusual, but that could change just in a couple of race meetings just as easy. In the open category, Georgie Fike leads the way on 49 points, just 1 point ahead of Chris Thorman. And then it's Jordan Walk behind him, a further 1 point back. So Greg Mack, Mike Taylor, Michael Key, Bobby Charles, Gus Sancinelli, Jeff Lovell, and Patrick is in 10th place. So yeah, championship standings, like I say, still very early days in this season. So I'm not going to expect to see massive gaps or a clear leader or anything at this point, and that's exactly what we have got. So yeah, New Hampshire, obviously just bring the road layout. Oh, I laugh in the commentary booth. Just me. Yeah, so the New Hampshire circuit, it's a very unfortunate shape, I have to say. Looking on the mini map, they really didn't think that or think that through, or maybe they did. Who knows? So yeah, just a bit of a lol. But yeah, so obviously we use a little bit of the oval circuit and swing around, as you see, and then we break away. I have to say it's quite unique because we don't see many sort of roval circuits where you actually turn out of the oval section, and they have a bit, you know, typically we Daytona, Indy, and things like that. You know, some of the bigger circuits, like even New Hampshire, for example. Pocono's no different. I think that, yeah, I could go on. Really, what else have we got? Charlotte Road, all of them. You know, you normally turn in on one of the straights, don't you? So, and then you have a little infield section. But yeah, not the case here, and up to the outside. And actually, I think the circuit works quite well because we get a lot of undulation and things like that in that little section of the circuit. Because, you know, they can, because they're not worried so much about sort of trying to keep it all uniformed with the oval. But yeah, it's going to be good race, I'm sure. Let's just see if we have got anybody on a lap that we might be able to check in right now. Looks like only Brandon Whitworth. Everybody else has pretty much done their time. Brandon currently in 5th place. And here with a 110, last lap was a little bit slower. So what does he need to improve? He needs a 110.38 is what he is after. Will he be able to do that through this section? Coming back on sort of to the oval. Kind of tight through there. I think he's pulling it into the pit, so no, that is that, and that is everybody actually now done with qualifying. So wait for the final classifications to come up on my screen, and then I will send them your way as well. But reasonable grid today. Just looking at it, I'm having to scroll down. 37 cars out there as well, so that really surprises me. I think with like a unique sort of Roval circuit, I kind of expected to see participation dropping just a little bit. Oh, Giuseppe's going out for a lap, so we'll quickly check in with him. Maybe this is just a this could just be a what am I thinking? Could be like a practice lap or something like that. We bring up the whole ST class, see where he sits, but yeah, 5th overall so far. And what does he need? He needs a miracle because there's not a lot of time left. He might just sneak through. Got 30 seconds to get to the line. 1 minute 12 lap. He's been out for a little while, but yeah, so he needs a 10th and a half really to improve his position, get in front of Jim List. Well, that's that. So he's not going to get the lap in either. Right, we'll just wait for the timer to tick down. 2, 1, grid results should be official any second. Here we go. Right then, so our pole position, man. Aeronom, the only driver in the 1 minute 9s with the 19648, followed by Kevin Ford. Clint Vigas leads the second row. And with he's about half a second back, that's quite a margin. Stephen Thomas, 7/10 back. The field quite spread apart tonight. There's Brandon Whitworth in 5th, and Travis Davis. Hopefully this draft is going to keep them just a little bit closer together. Russell Ruddock is ahead of Alexander Coffard in 8th place. Leon Wright, followed by Michael Monaghan in 10th, and it's Tyler Shiflett and Nathan Thomas in 12th. In 13th, we've got Matthew Catila, that's Jeff Jacobs, Raymond Bader Jr., followed by Andrew Fawcett in 16th, Jennifer McDonald in 17th, and David Warren in 18th. Travis Finke actually out-qualifies Chad McDonald. So we actually have an MX-5, well, a few drivers. So mixing it up there. So great lap from Travis. Mike Dam is technically 2nd in class, followed by Joe Boyd. And it's Jim List, Giuseppe Iannucci, Rob Hartley all the way down there as well. So 25th overall, and on about the 5th row there. So Pascal Iannucci, followed by Greg Mack. Then it's Zachary Rubin, and I pressed the wrong button, which can happen. And yeah, let's just get those final few people. Jason Walk, then it's Jeff Lovell, followed by Peyton Charles Key, Thorman, Taylor, Sanchez, and that is us. Right. Where are we? We've got a full lap around here, I believe, for the pace lap. Here we go. As Aeronom gets us away, pace the car. See if that does any weird crabbing or anything like that. We've seen some funny, we've seen some funny lines on these unique circuits. It's not always mapped particularly well. No such issues. Have a look at Travis. Now, has Chad had to wait? No, he's not. Chad's actually gone already, so he's at the back of there, which makes sense, to be fair. I did wonder if he would have to wait behind Travis, but I'm surprised it's not giving him some sort of penalty, saying, you know, you got to wait behind, or yeah, I suppose because they're on the same lane, it's not so bad. But I bet he's getting notifications saying you need to wait for such and such a car. That's for sure. Good to see Aaron on back. Obviously, he's been away for a couple of days. Yeah, Brian, I'm on my own today. I think Woody's slept in, so I tried to phone him, but I got nothing. So yeah, I imagine yeah, he's snoring his head off right now. Adam was always scheduled to have the tonight off, so yeah, just typical really. I'll give him a kick later on when I see him. Great shot actually is both the you can see both the fields there and just go in a different direction, just a bit random. Right, this car is going to duck in then. Nom's going to take over. When's he going to go? There it is. Oh, good start from, I think that's Thomas. Had to get out of it in the end. They're 3 wide on the second row as they head in towards turn 1. So many cars filtering through there. You don't see that many Mustangs running too often here on iRacing, but certainly get all the drivers together for that one. Everybody's got through, no problem. What about the MX-5s? Here we go. Travis Finke leading the way here. Oh, I think that was List. Got a heck of a start. Perhaps a little bit early, maybe. I don't know. They're almost 4 wide going into turn 1 there as well. So great start from those guys. They filter through. Oh, we've got an accident. One of the leaders is gone. I'm not sure who that was. Joe Boyd. Boyd gets spun and into the wall. His race is done after just 1 corner. He will be absolutely gutted for that. Travis with a good start. He's got up a 9/10 of a second lead already over Jim List. Then it's Iannucci, Mike Dam, and we have Rob Hartley already up 1 place to 24th, and yeah, 5th in class. So Hartley right on it straight away. Ruben, they're battling just behind. That's Iannucci and Greg Mack that were side by side. Oh, and behind as well. Lovell. Oh no! Lovell, I think he's managed to survive. But was it who? It was David Payton. Just got all out of shape, and you just don't want a tyre wall there. What are they doing putting a tyre wall there? Well, Payton found it. He'll be absolutely gutted, and that's going to be his race done and dusted as well. Not very often we see that many early retirements in the MX-5 field, but yep, we've got a couple out already. So what's going on here as we check back in with the Mustangs? The Ford has somewhat gone with Nom for this opening lap. That's good to see. I didn't. Hopefully, can just use the draft and keep with. Let's keep a battle going here, and hopefully Kevin can spot some of the slight differences in Nom's lines and just hopefully try and stay with him. Let's keep a battle going. But the rest of the pack has somewhat fallen behind, and that's led by Vigas. And you've got Travis Davis, who's up 2 places. He's got a fair amount of pressure now as well from Brandon Whitworth and Stephen Thomas, who has lost a couple of places from the start. Alex Cofford, Russell Ruddock as well, right in there. You can just see this is going to get a very, very busy circuit. The mini-map already looking quite hectic. Yeah, and as has been mentioned on the chat, it's not going to be many laps until I think they get around and start thinking about lapping the MX-5s. Lap time difference, you're talking 110 for a non that time. Travis did a 112? Yeah, 112. Actually, there's not a great deal of difference lap time wise. I think it's just the fact that the ST class really did, you know, sort of stack themselves up at the start somewhat and leave a massive margin. And yeah, they're going to be on them pretty quickly. Me more like Stephen Thomas is the one who wants to move forward. He lost a couple of places off of the grid, so he'll be a bit disappointed with that, but he's to work his way forward now. You can see Brandon Whitworth and Charis Davis right ahead of him. There's a bit of battling going on further back. This is between Warren and McDonald, and they exchanged positions a couple of times there, so not quite sure exactly what went on. Let's see if we can get a little replay of that exact going in the downhill section. And actually, I think there's going to be a little bit of an off. Exactly that. So just got out of shape, and while going for the move, did Warren, and but managed to hold on to it from McDonald there. Jim List has taken the lead. That is because Travis Svenke has disappeared. Where was our race leader gone? I can only imagine this must be some kind of connection issue. Yeah, he's not appearing. So absolute disaster for Travis. He'll be gutted, leading the way. Lines they take through that corner using, well, I wouldn't say that was necessarily the racetrack. I'm sure they're meant to be using around the outside of the curb, but what iRacing lets you get away with. I'm back from List. Gonna struggle to pull away here, like everywhere really. It's all very much a patience first kind of thing with the MX-5s. Just have to bide your time, make sure you're there in that pack at the end. Pit stops all come into play. You might be able to jump away then and get the break. Once the Mustangs start to come through, you can usually sort of work the traffic, perhaps try and break away then. That's what we usually see a couple of the leaders start to do. But top four already trying to pull. Zachary Rubin is 7.5 seconds back. He's in 5th place in class, and yeah, there's quite a margin there, so I don't quite know what happened at all. And I think you're right, Brian. I think Hartley just saving fuel at the moment, doesn't need to do anything, and of course it has such a critical role saving the fuel with this car. It takes a while to fill up with fuel at the pit stop as well, so every litre that you can save, you get that time back in the pits, and it makes such a difference. And I think that's exactly what Hartley's doing now. Going to play a very patient game out there. Travis Davis in 5th place. Got Thompson, Thomas right behind him. He's got a bit of damage on the front there as well. Don't quite know what happened there. Of course, Davis was fighting with Whitworth earlier on, so he's dropped back. Doesn't seem to be affecting any straight line speed or anything like that though, so yeah, no such issues, so should be alright for Thomas. Should be able to battle at it pretty hard. Alex Coffard, new name to the series. I certainly haven't seen him so far for HJ Motorsport. Definitely haven't seen the livery on the circuit before, but seems to be enjoying himself out there. Good showing. First time in the car. Not an easy car to jump into, that's for sure. What's going on a bit further back in this class as well? Jeff Jacobs has got Raymond Bader Jr. just tucked up behind him, while it's Nathan Thomas just ahead. And then you've got Katila and Fawcett just behind them as well. So Andrew also driving in the HJ Motorsport car. Well, I should have seen that because I know Andrew's done a race before, but yeah, apologies Andrew, and to the team. Oh, Travis Davis, he's having issues. I think it's connection issues. All of a sudden, Thomas has had to drop a little bit further back just to give a bit of breathing space, because Travis was blinking in and out all over the place there. First of the MX-5s to start to come into play. Here we go. Oh, that Whitworth trying to go through. Doesn't want to get held up too much, but I think it's quite inevitable. It's tight and twisty through here. And actually the MX-5s are not that slow through the corners. It's not a huge difference at all in terms of lap times around here. So be patient. Oh, and I think that was... Oh, I'm hearing... Monaghan involved. What happened there? Who was it? Oh, I think it might have been Sancinelli, is it? I think it was Sancinelli. Let's see if we can see exactly what happened. I think this was as the traffic was going through. Sancinelli on the outside. Oh, they were too wide and he was around the outside, and then, oh, there's a bit of carnage there. And I'm glad I'm not administrating today. Not sure I could have managed to do that bit as well. But yeah, something for the admin to have a look at, that's for sure. It's going to take a little while to digest that as well. What's your thoughts on the chat, guys? Let me know. Yeah, we also lost in that. We lost Coffard as well. He got the damage, you can see. Car is crabbing as well. He jumped to the pits. Sancinelli jumped to the pits. Did anybody else come in as well? Leon Wright also came in, so I'm guessing he was involved in it too. So yeah, attrition tonight. Not something we're used to seeing here in the Ricmotech Sports Car Series, but well, that's what we're getting, that's for sure. Brandon Whitworth then in fourth place, Travis Davis ahead, behind, Clint Vigus, starting to find himself in the no man's land. Just look at the intervals, we'll see he's got pretty much a 4-second margin either side of him, 4 seconds to the driver ahead, which is Ford. The driver behind is Whitworth 4.1 seconds, so it's going to be a lonely race for Clint. Thankfully, he'll be kept occupied by lapping the MX-5s. It's looked like an absolute right gaggle. I tell you what, I got to bring up the map, and oh, another crash as well. That wasn't traffic. I think this is going to be Jeff Lovell and probably Mike Taylor, or maybe Leon Wright. That was Mike Taylor. Get into it. I said the administrator of the series, the live steward, he's going to be a tad busy. You can see now on the map as well, really, that the two classes starting to really mix in together. Cars sort of everywhere. Apart from, yep, I can't point to the screen because you won't see that. But part to the bottom lower left area where there's absolutely nothing right now. It's just all the cars seem to have managed to get themselves all in that same spot as they come through. Oh, another battle going on out there. Vader Junior and Fawcett. I say a battle, but I think Raymond's got some damage, has he? Is he involved in any of that? He just seemed very slow there. I thought perhaps he had some damage. No, he hasn't. So, just for whatever reason, not quite firing on all cylinders. Jim List lost the lead to Ian Nucci. Travis has jumped back to the pits, but we know that that was from when he disconnected, so if I can just get a replay of where Pat got himself into lead, got a good run coming out and across the start finish line. He's got his nose up the inside into turn one, throws it in there. Good move. Yeah, nice and committed. Didn't sort of go in there half-assed kind of thing. Really threw it in, made sure that he had the line and the momentum. Just up to List now, really, just to make sure that he stays with him, fights back. And as we switch back to live, he clearly did. So, yeah, moves himself back past. Let's see that move back on replay. Is it going to be a carbon copy? Does he get the run and dive up the inside? Yes, he does. He's going to do this in the same fashion. Yeah, not quite committed on the way in, but still sufficient enough to get enough of an overlap and get through. And yeah, these guys are pretty savvy. They don't tend to fight each other that hard. At this stage of the race, it's just kind of no point. Mike Dam just sort of lurking in the background in third place in class. And yeah, with Hartley tucked up behind him. Brandon Whitworth and Travis Davis now on screen. Pretty close. Half a second between them. Nom has checked out, I'm afraid, at the front, guys. I'll just bring up the gap for you so you can see. 2.8 seconds clear now. Very confident, pushing here. Got a fair amount of traffic coming up though. If it doesn't get through that quickly, that could bode a problem. Go for a lap here. On board. See what he's in. Third gear coming through here. 150k, 160, 70, 180. Does he get 190? Gets close. Doesn't quite hit it. Third gear then for first turn. It was almost a bit bogged down through there, doesn't it? Sounds like it. Still in third gear. Barely changing this thing. Heavy braking down into second gear for a relatively tight turn. Still in the outfield sort of section of the circuit. All that camber to turn in. back up the hill. We'll get ready to start to take the dip down. These are the leaders. That is Hartley that he's behind. He has to be very patient here. They obviously don't want to lose each other. He doesn't want to get caught up. Right now Ford is coming. 1.9 seconds the gap. That's closed down. It was nearly 2.5 seconds when we started looking at him. Just goes to show how bad the traffic will be. It can be. And of course it'll be advantage to Kevin, because they'll all know that the leaders are coming, so they'll be on the lookout. So that worked quite well though, managed to squeeze through, and now it's going to be the job for Ford to get. Ford nearly hit the wall. He's got nowhere to go. He was looking. He's be patient. Hartley lets him go through. No problems there. Kevin's going to be a net loss here. Just not quite working the traffic as well as he wants. It's a good drive. We'll get it done. But what's this gap going to be? It's 3.5 seconds now. And he's not even through yet. It was 2.5 going into this traffic. So I take it back. Not going to have the advantage. So into the pit lane then we've got Iannucci and Rob Hartley. They've come in very early. I'm guessing at this point they can make it until the very end without any real issues. Sort of have a little look, see what they do as far as times go. Takes a fair while to get the car serviced here. So here we go. So for Hartley it was 17 seconds stationary but 43 seconds in the pit lane as it disappeared. For Pat it was 15 seconds and 42 seconds in the pit lane, so close. But yeah, ultimately a couple of seconds quicker for Pat. We have a look. Got a little bit of a margin, but not much, of course. Overall, it was only 2 seconds, and that's barely going to be enough to keep Rob Hartley out of the slipstream for anything more than a couple of laps. Who else is in now? List has decided to come in as well. Makes a bit of sense, I think. Doesn't want the guys to break away too much, get the pit stop done. Needs to be leaving very soon, and indeed he is. But we're going to see the leaders go through. Actually, it was quite a slow stop for List. Yeah, I say that. 43 seconds in the pit lane. So the pit lane time was quite quick, but it was stationary quite a while. You can see he's a couple of seconds back from these guys as well, so did have that effect on them. At one lap about the draft or knowing what they're doing, just dropped him back a little bit. Zachary Rubin leads the way at the moment in the ST class, going a bit longer than these guys. Mike Dam has pitted, and it's worth pointing out he was 41.55 seconds in the pit. So that's the in the pit lane. That's the quickest we have seen today, and yeah, he's come up in front of all of these guys, just getting past Bobby Charles, who hasn't pitted. So yeah, net lead I think for Mike Dam at this point. Right guys, you'll have to excuse me, I'm going to head to a quick advert break, and check in with the guys over at Ricmotech and Frank. Very much as always for sponsoring the series. Have a little look at some of your products, shall we? Welcome back to Apex Racing TV and the Ricmotech Sports Car Series. Thank you very much, Frank, and everybody at Ricmotech for that. Love the gear, looking really, really good. And yep, go check them out. Obviously, they do so much stuff on there as well, you know. So pedals, rigs, you name it. They've got pretty much everything on there. A lot of other bits as well. I think, remember rightly, last time I checked out the site, there were sort of, you know, bits you could get sort of imported in as well, which was quite cool. But yeah, the genuine gear, it looks really high end, so if you go check it out. I've certainly seen some of the reviews that look very, very nice. And on the sim pit, right, what is going on out there right now? Aeronom leads the way, 3.55 seconds. If you want to basically have some updates on where everybody is on a regular basis, I strongly encourage you to click the live timing link. What I'll quickly do as well, for those of you that missed the start and it's not come up on the chat for some silly reason, I'll paste it back in there again. Oh, and it seems to want to put a silly code on. Let me quickly get that in there, and I'll quickly talk you through some of the bits that is on there as well, so good for you guys, the spectators, to truly understand what's going on. But yeah, there's the link, and we make a point of our sort of timing is very dynamic. And what we do is the driver that we've got selected, the kind of the interval, always is around the driver that we have selected. So that will change. So right now it's on Kevin, Aeronom, and if I change to Kevin Ford, we'll see the interval times are all set for him and the driver ahead and whatnot. So do keep that. It highlights them on screen so you know exactly what's going on. And yeah, if you hover over the drivers as well, you see the team names, and of course we've got the pit count and pit lane times and things like that as well, the plus and minus and full motion, so you can see what's going on. So do go check that out. Tyler Shiflett into the pits, one of the first two sort of front runners to jump on the GS series. Oh, I tell you what, Marco, a nice Italian espresso would do me a right treat, I tell you now. Love a good espresso. But yeah, that'll keep me awake for a bit. Whew. So, take my up to my barbers, and they always treat me with a nice shot of espresso. Does the job. As you can see, he's got a Fawcett behind him right now as well. That's a half a second gap. Good little battle. Oh, Brandon Whitworth into the pits as well. Another one of the front runners decided to come in. Obviously, Brandon was in a little bit of a no man's land with the battles that he was having to deal with. All about trying to keep on it. Giflet under pressure from McDonald. But yeah, on our live timing screen as well, it's pretty much color coded, same as our overlays as well, so you can see exactly who's on which class. Although I will say, on our own, these guys are battling pretty hard. On our on-screen display, you can see actually the difference between the pros and the AMs, the lights and the darks. So obviously dark blue is the pro, and then you've got open is the sort of the more baby or sky blue if you would have it. And got your darker greens and your lighter greens as well to distinguish the difference there. And the only part doesn't transfer over to the live timing, I'm afraid. I'll try and keep you apprised to that. I can filter per that, so this is just obviously the Pro ST Pro drivers. It's Ian Ishidam, Hartley, his brother Pat, Liz Ruben, Spanky, obviously having his issues, but out there again, Peyton and Boyd. And then if I find us a AM driver, where is Mac? Well, Greg Mack leading the way overall as well. Obviously hasn't had his pit stop yet. You can see that slightly lighter shade there. Rob Hartley thinking about a move. He was closer than he has been for a few laps, that's for sure. I'm not sure. Still maybe saving fuel, I believe. Although I don't know if he needs to do that. I don't know if there's any point in saving the fuel at this point. Unless they've been very limited on fuel, I can't, I expect them to make it to the end, but I might be wrong. Good battle going on out there. That is between Bader Jr. and it is, so it's not Whitworth, is it? The Clint Vigas and Bader Jr. Clint's obviously pitted, Jr. hasn't. Greg Mack coming in from the lead in the MX-5s in the ST class. Gonna drop him back behind Iannucci, I believe. As 25th overall, still up 2 places for the meeting. But how quickly it can change was at the front. Kevin Ford into the pits. That's a critical one. What's he going to do? What sort of timings? Stay with this for a moment. We're looking at about sort of 15 seconds to 16 seconds stationary would be a good stop. Gone beyond that. 18.7 is not bad. 43.42 in the pit lane, which actually is pretty competitive. I don't think it's going to end up getting him any closer to Nom though, unless Aero makes an absolute hash of the pit lane entry. See what he does. Decide to come in this time? Yes, he does. So into the pits then for our race leader. Needs to nail this. We're looking just to make sure he maintains his gapping. He's just about 18.5 seconds, 43.5 in the pit lane. So get it on your marks. Looks good. He didn't miss it. That was important. Let's see what he does as far as times go. Very quick indeed. It was 16.2 seconds physically stationary, and then it was 40.77 for the pit lane. That's a good 3 seconds faster than what Ford did. So he's actually, through this phase of the race, he's just extended his lead even further. So much traffic in and around that area right now. Jeff Jacobs, Tyler Shiflett going at it as well as they head into turn 1. There'll only be a few laps and they'll catch that big gaggle up as well. Shiflett, oh, side by side then through there. Well, that was relatively easy in the end. But had to work him to get into that position. Chris Thorman, going on with him out there, that's very close. That's with Charles. Very close indeed. Pit lane getting a bit busy now as well. Brandon, Raymond Baines Jr. into the pits. He also in, and that is I'm not sure who that is. That the final person pit in there. Can't find him on the list at all. Oh, Walk, Jason Walk. Sorry. Fawcett under pressure from Vigus. Flynn looking like he's got a good run here. And yep, already done. Russell Ruddock into the pits. Tell you what, Stephen, this is a good, yeah, this is a great track. I've seen some great races around here. Mainly in the MX-5s, I have to say, but a good couple of skippy races too. Everything's kind of died down a little bit, guys. We have got this battle, which is no more. It's just typical. There's Thorman and Bobby Charles that are relatively close together. I know we often see the fact that the drivers pull away at the start and then slowly work their way together. So I'm hoping for a little bit of that. I want a bit of action. It's got to keep me awake. I'm struggling. I need this espresso. Yeah, Steve. Woody's tucked up in bed underneath his duvet, snoring his head off, I'm sure. Right now. What I should do is drop his phone number in the chat and get you all to phone him. Text him. That'll get him up. Right, Rob Hartley, is he starting to make moves? I think he is. it was Mike Dam who had nailed the pit stop strategy, wasn't it? Got out in front, and Hartley's just worked his way back to him, and now puts the move on to get to the lead. Dam has the inside, should be able to hold on to it. Hartley trying to hold a little bit of an overlap just to see if he can get a better run, which I think he has managed to do, which is rather impressive. Dam doesn't fight it too much. I thought just kind of shaped himself up to get a better run, but kind of got out of it a little bit. Got a Mustang behind. Doesn't seem to want to go past. Who is that? I think that is... Yeah, it is. It's Stephen Thomas. So Thomas through on the straight. Was kind of patient, and that's good driving from Stephen. Bravo. Force it into the pit as well. See him dropping down the order. As always, I'm pretty sure these two are going to go at it for some time. Right guys, we're going to take the final break of the evening. I'm going to nip and get a drink so that I don't completely wilt here. So back over to Frank and the Ricmotech adverts, and I will see you again in just a minute's time. Oh yes, made it back in time as well. Bossed it. Right. Refueled, ready to go. Hartley then and Dam still very, very close together. We know that one's probably not going to change too much. Iannucci and List, who were in this battle, really have spread out. They've got quite a margin. Let's just take a quick look at the intervals in class actually. Because I think they really have separated now apart. You can see it's just really the leaders that are close, and everybody else, no one else really inside 3 seconds of each other. There's just big gaps. This is just not what we're used to. I was really hoping for a real close, hard battle tonight, and yeah, it's separated apart somewhat. If I check in on, oh, well, it is a decent hard battle. But again, this is pretty much the only one that's going on out there right now. As between Catila and Thomas. Oh, that is so close. quite interesting when you look at it up from the blimp as well. It gives you a completely different perspective of the track. Whitworth closing in on Vigus, I believe, as well. Yeah, exactly that. So Clint got a good start, didn't he? And slowly, I think Brandon's been working his way to him. Yeah, No Hope Racing. Don't talk too much about the sort of the teams aspect of it in the Ricmotech, and I don't know, that's something we're trying to get a little bit more into. We'll try and do that. Clint Vigus running as a privateer, not in the team at all. Funny enough, though, if we click on him, he's down as Privateer Motorsports, which I do like. Travis Davis, obviously, in TD Racing. And then we've got, who else have we got? Stephen Thomas, Driftline Racing as well. So, it's all bike lovers. A decent little battle for 10th place as well, all of a sudden. They must have listened to me when I said, come on, let's have something. Final 15 minutes of the race, I suppose it is the business end. This is where it starts to get closer and closer. As listed in the MX-5 kind of getting in the way a little bit as far as these guys are concerned, but of course he needs the space, needs to do his own thing out there. Dealer wants to get by, just needs to get a little closer. It just goes to show you how good the MX-5 is through that twisty section, as these guys really couldn't close in at all. Got the power now to speed through down the straight. Still, oh, from behind, I thought for a moment this might have been in a bit of danger there, but no, not an issue. Thomas was able to get the car stopped. He wants to get by though. He's getting a bit agitated. You can almost tell by the body language of the car. Not going to lose that much time through here though. Worry. This is quick through here. But he is going to have to concede the position. So he really just, well, he's not conceding the position, but he's just being, letting him through. Then still trying to defend. Better run out of there actually. You can just see the slight difference in the line. Oh, using all the curb possible. Much better run, and actually pulls away. He's now just over 0.7 of a second clear. I know it doesn't seem like a lot, but it really is, considering he was only 0.2 back. Who have we lost so far tonight? It's a few drivers. Obviously we had that big crash. Brian Cobb, Joe Boyd is not running. David Payne's not running. Sanchini is not running. Issues for David Warren as well. Might well be out of this race because he's been in the pits for a good 5 minutes now. Oh, side by side, Fawcett. He's been in there, thick of things all night long, really. It's Vader Jr. ahead of him. If I'm not mistaken, these guys have been pretty much inseparable all meeting. Travis Davis suddenly has some competition as well from Stephen Thomas. Half a second between them. Not a great deal at all. Bobby Charles comes into the pits as well. See the graphic at the bottom of your screen slides in, indicates in the pit. First, obviously, number is the pit lane total time. The second number is the stationary time. The gap at the front might have come down a bit as well in recent laps. If I can get this to work, this graphic. What's been going on for Kevin? We're trying, but we can't seem to get it to work. Let's go. Ah, there we go. More like it. So over the last few laps then. This is why you see I need the guys to fill while I work on these sort of things. But yeah, so that gap is actually staying pretty much the same. The final sort of last 5 laps fluctuated a little bit, but yeah, it's really only come down 0.3 of a second. But every time it seems to me that none pulls it away, Ford somehow claws it back. Again, the last couple of laps, that in there as well. Pull it back away. Expect to see that come down. They're really putting a push in. Goes past a back marker. 9 minutes of the race left. This little battle rages on between Catila, Monaghan and Thomas. X5 seem to have separated themselves apart a moment. I'm not really sure quite what's happened because all of a sudden actually Hartley is quite a way behind. I'm going to have a quick look, see if I can find an issue or something that might have happened there. Can't find anything. I don't know if this what we saw a few laps ago, wasn't it? So it's not that would have set him back. But yeah, all of a sudden he good 3 seconds off. So I don't know if he's got fuel figures wrong or something like that. No, Hartley does like to play it a little close, but he stopped for longer, so yeah, can't really be that. DD desperately trying to hold on to this top 5 here. Apologies again for just being me tonight. I'll try my best. I am, after all, just the cameraman. But yeah, Andrew was meant to be with us tonight, but yep, having a little snooze, I believe. And Adam's off. Next week it will be well, it might just be those two next week, I think. And I'll take the night off, but yeah. Davis holding on. He looks comfortable actually. Seems to be choosing the right lines just to defend nicely. He's checking another little battle which is actually just ahead of these guys, and that's between Zachary Rubin and Mac. Oh, into the wall. I don't know if that was like a fake hit. It looked a bit funny. Oh! As Thomas has to sort of get out of it, and all of a sudden Rubin's shot. Can he keep the car under control? Yes, he can, but he's going to lose a place to Greg Mack. Geez, I don't really know what happened there. All of a sudden, woke up. Everything went a little crazy. These guys getting very close as well. Alpha 3, oh, yep, doesn't get any closer than that. Just a little friendly nudge. 5 minutes to go. 5 laps. That will soon click down at this place. It's nothing as well. People have been able to get moves done today, but disappointingly, they really have separated apart. A couple of little battles. Nothing going on really in the ST class. Nom leading the way from Ford and Figus in the pro category. And it is Dam from Hartley, and actually Ian Nucci, Chad McDonald not having the best of races, is actually separating the MX-5 sort of trio. But yeah, Nom, solid performance, not made any mistakes that I've seen so far. Needs to keep going now. Jump on board with Brandon. Exactly what he needs to do. Where can he find this gap? As always, it starts to liven up. Totally different lines through turn 1. Much wider arc in for Whitworth. I think he would carry a bit more speed, but it doesn't look like that's the case. Does nail the final part, and that can lead to a to improved times. Head into the infield section, cross over the oval. Whitworth looking to the inside at the fight because he wants this podium. There's not long left to go. Gets a great run closing in. Oh, Vigus absolutely smashes the curb on the inside there. So much air on the right side of the car. Okay, they managed to hold on, killed his momentum a little bit. Might open the door for Whitworth here. Having a look on the outside, probably not the best, I would have said. Definitely want to get to the inside if you can. Traffic ahead, MX-5 will play a role. He almost wants to box him in if he can. Not an easy move, as some drivers just move out regardless. Oh, so close. And all of a sudden, just seems to slip away. That gap extends out again. Get back in with this battle though. This is TD against Stephen Thomas. And then, oh, that's a good run, Thomas. Nowhere really to go there. Alexander Coffard into the pits. I'm not sure that's an in. I think that's a reappearance. Almost so close, surely trying to shape up something. The kart last few laps. I mean, we're at 59 minutes, pretty much exactly. We are only going to get another one in, depending on where the leader is. So it's go time. And well, we are going to get one more lap in after this one, because he's not far from the finish line at this point. And actually, we've got a race on our hands with one lap to go, because Kevin really threw it in there, and only 0.7 of a second back, snuck up on him on the last couple of laps, and now right in the hunt. Almost needs a bit of traffic really for Nom, just to help him get back to him completely. Maybe a chance, bit of slipstream or something on the final lap that might help him to get through. Runs a little wide, gets very close to the wall, but doesn't quite touch it. Does Ford. Slightly different lines as well, much tighter. We'll still be able to pick up on the gas early and use the slipstream with the car ahead. Nom savvy, he's been in position so many times, he knows what he needs to do, where he needs to place his car, make sure he doesn't overdrive. Those little lockups and things like that can really make a big impact on your momentum, and I think Ford would get him. That was the case, but it certainly hasn't been. This is a relatively straightforward section for Nom, but Ford giving it absolutely everything. He's not going to get there. He's going to fall to Aero Nom as he returns back to the series. Takes another victory here. Kevin Ford in second. Vigas will come across in third. I need to check, see where the MX-5s are as well, because while it's not as close, still relevant if traffic and things get in the way. There is Rob Hartley. Mike Damp. I'm not sure Mike's won one yet, so this will be good for him in class. Don't get involved anything here, Mike. A lot of drivers still finishing as well. It just goes to show you how far the leaders were ahead. Perhaps not been lapped, but really has taken them a long time to come around. But Mike Dam coming across, take the victory in the ST class. Fantastic performance, and congratulations to him, because he deserved the win, that's for sure. Right, everybody else is scampering across the start finish line. Final time. Right, let me get you these official stand-ins. They are here. Right, sorry about that. Messing around. Oh, I need to change that. Something on the overlay I need to do. Note to self: move the points. Do it this way. There we go. That's better. Helps if you press the right button. It's getting late. Wilted a little bit, so sorry about this, guys. Right. Race results then. Aeronom takes the win by just a mere 0.4 of a second at the end from Kevin Ford. Clint Vigas in third. Brandon Whitworth fourth. Travis Davis is fifth. Thomas sixth. Tyler Shiflett seventh. Russell Ruddock, Jeff Jacobs, Keeler, the final driver just inside 1 minute. And Grant Davis and Bader Jr., who keep from getting that 1 lap down. We have Andrew Fawcett, who was in the thick of things tonight, McDonald, and then we also have Chad McDonald, and then 2 laps down, Leon Wright and Alexander Crowfoot there. Last but not least, let's not forget him, David Warren in ST. As we know, Mike Dam led the way, comfortably wins by 1.6 seconds in the end. If that's comfortable, Iannucci in third. I'm not sure about that. They certainly didn't. They would have shown as a lap down, wouldn't they? Because this didn't make it through. It got overtaken by the leaders, so that's why it shows the gaps like that. It's not quite right. So something I perhaps need to throw into to the developer. Right. Well, I've got 2 winners for the class. I will speak to both of them before I head off. We'll start off with Eric Norm. Welcome back to the series. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
Yeah, congratulations then, mate. Missed the first couple of races, and you come back, and yeah, a nice little win, one that you had to work for in the end.
Yeah, I got turned, and that was unfortunate. But I think Kevin took 4 tires, so it was a little bit hard for me. But in the end, I was trying to take safe and get no incident, so I managed that. I didn't get that much as that, but okay.
Yeah, awesome stuff. I remember you saying you were a bit doubtful for what races you could do this season. Are we going to see you in the next one? Are you just going to be doing the odd one here or there? How are you trying to plan the rest of this season?
Yeah, I was switching, so I think I can do the rest of the season if nothing happens, so I hope I can do.
Awesome. Right, mate. Before you go, anyone you want to give a quick shout out to? Sorry, I'm kind of quick firing them off because I'm on my top tonight.
Yeah, thanks to all the sponsors, and thanks Kevin for letting me join later, and thanks you guys for broadcasting.
Thanks very much, mate. Cheers, and I will. I'll catch you in the next race then.
Yeah, see ya.
Mr. Dam, are you there?
Yeah, you got a copy.
Good. Well, good race from you. Pit stop made all the difference, I feel. Bang on with the strategy call, spread that pack apart. Because I think at the start of the race, I wasn't really sure who was going to be able to break away, if any. But yeah, you nailed it. Hartley came back towards you after the pits, and then you guys exchanged position a couple of times. And then next time I checked back in, you had a couple of second gap. Perhaps you can enlighten me into what went on there. Was that just you edging away? Was there a little mistake? Maybe some traffic? What was going on?
Well, first off, I didn't think this was going to be a win here, but there were a lot of fast guys on this grid, and unfortunately, about half of them were out on turn 1. But then it was the 4 of us, me, Rob, Travis, and Pat there. Unfortunately, Travis had an issue, so it's kind of just a comedy of affairs here. But so we settled in. Unfortunately, I think I had some damage, so I wasn't going full speed either. So I was just trying to stay with the pack in the first stint, and then my plan was to pit as soon as the Mustangs were coming up on my rear end there. So I just managed to. I only took 2 tires because I was only taking 2 gallons, so that about evened out the time there. So I think the rest of them took 4, but I'm not sure because they were. I don't know if it's just a damage or they're just had fresher tires or whatever. They were catching up to me, but I think that helped me getting away from the traffic.
Yeah, I think I remember pointing out actually you were a fair bit quicker in the pit stop. So,
but it was risky because I literally had 1 lap of fuel at the end. So,
Well,
is tight.
you've got these are the margins that you've got to play to, isn't it? To get the wins, especially when it's that close competition in the ST class.
Hey, any win you can get against Robert Hartley is a good one, so I'm gonna take it. I mean, I had all the help I could get. I don't know if you know, but Rob's first laps here were his qualifying laps, so he had absolutely zero practice. So we're like, maybe we have a chance, a small one.
Well, indeed you did, and you took it. So yeah, awesome job. Anyone you want to give a shout out to? Sorry, did I mention that?
Yeah, just all the guys in this league. They make it what it is, and then to Kevin and Jeff, the admins, who do a real good job putting this thing on. It's a real good time hanging out every Monday night. So yeah.
Thank you, Mike. Right, I'll let you go, and I'll talk to Kevin quickly before I wrap the show up and head to my bed.
Yes, yeah.
Mr. Ford.
How are you, sir?
Yeah, I'm wilting. I'll be honest with you right now. I am wilting.
I bet you are. Yes, you probably felt like you drove in the race, don't you?
Oh yeah, I did. So I think it hits me hard when I'm the only one in the box. That's for sure. So
oh my goodness, they left you stranded tonight, huh?
Yeah. So Adam, I knew wasn't going to be here, but yeah. Andrew's enjoying some sleepy time, I think. Right?
Some good shut eye, isn't he?
Yeah. So,
well, we'll have to harass him next week.
Yeah,
for that.
That's it. So, I said on the stream I should have dropped his mobile number in the chat, and we should have all sent him a text message, like wakey wakey.
There you go, wakey wakey.
But anyway, I digress. A good race from yourself. I looked. Obviously, I saw Nom come back. I saw that he put it on pole position by quite a margin, and I was like, "Oh wow! Well, is this going to be a fight for the best of the rest?" But it wasn't that at all. You managed to really keep him honest and closed him in the final stages, but just couldn't quite get there.
Yeah, it was difficult. We knew going into the race tonight with Hero being here that it was going to be a challenge for us. We felt really good with the setup tonight. The tires held up really well. We made some last-minute changes yesterday in practice, and it really helped dramatically. We just had to make a few clicks to the front end. We were getting a little bit too much tire wear on the right front. We made that adjustment, and she drove fantastic. I mean, the car was just right under us the whole race. Going up that hill is always challenging, as you know. I'm sure you've driven this course. It's a bit daunting, but yeah, we were real happy with coming into the race tonight. We felt we were going to be able to be up on the front row. Confidence was high. The challenge was traffic, which we knew coming into the race that it was going to be a busy night. And my goal was just to try to keep Eero within distance, that if he was able to get held up, or if we could get a good pit stop in, which we did, we were able to get back to him and stay within those couple of seconds. And then fortunately some traffic worked on our favor at the end there, and we were closing a little bit there. He hit traffic, but we just didn't quite have enough. I don't know if we'd have got him if there'd have been an extra lap or not. He was running strong.
Yeah, indeed. Well, you gave it a really good effort, mate. So yeah, well done on that. And P2 does no harm to pick up all those points as well for the championship. So, nice
needed
little
a rebound after last week.
Exactly what I was just about to say. Nice little way to bounce back after Sebring.
Yep, absolutely. So,
all right, mate. I'm gonna let you go, and I'm gonna end this very quickly. And yeah, I'm gonna get some shut-eye myself.
Well, great. Well, Alex, thank you so much. We appreciate the whole Apex TV broadcast crew. You guys are just fantastic. Big shout out to the family that's watching. Appreciate everybody tuning in. And thanks to all of our sponsors, Frank Rico and Travis Davis at TD's Tree Service. So thanks again, Alex.
Cheers, mate. Thanks a lot. All right, well, I don't think there's too much more to say on that one. Obviously, join us next week for round number 4 of the Ricmotech Sports Car Series. A big thank you to you guys for watching, and like Kevin said, to sponsors of the series as well, make us do it. I would say thank you to my commentators, but I'm gonna give them some crap later on, that's for sure. But yeah, MX5 BSR series is in, well, not too long. So, yeah, about 12 hours time or so, and that's way off, close to that. But yeah, 8 o'clock tonight, and then we have on the Thursday we have obviously the BSR TC. Friday's the AOR Formula Renault series, and then we have the Supercar on Saturday, followed by the BSR Grand Tour on Sunday. So lots going on here, Apex Racing TV this week. So do check back to us, and yeah, if you're still watching, thank you for those ones that are. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe as well to get all of the latest races we cover. Thanks, guys. I really appreciate you sticking around and yeah, putting up with me on my Todd tonight. I'll catch you